I've been thinking about the question quite a fair bit over the past few months. Maybe in the not too distant future, the effects of global warming will become horribly apparent to more and more people. And perhaps people all over the planet will demand immediate action. Maybe governments will be forced into green lighting large-scale geoengineering projects as the world around them becomes more and more severe. Greenhouse gas emissions are hitting record highs now, and they're expected to keep going up. Would it be fair to say that treaties aimed at reducing CO2 emissions have almost completely failed? When it comes to fossil fuels, I can't see humans giving them up. We are addicted. We won't stop using them until all reserves have been exhausted. That's what I think. And by the time we exhaust our fossil fuel supplies, the world could be a far less hospitable place. And in a few generations, maybe sooner, people could be staring into the abyss. Drastically reducing greenhouse gas emissions and adopting sustainable patterns of consumption are the necessary responses, the long-term responses to the threat we now face. But we are not responding in the necessary way now, are we? We haven't changed our ways. And it looks like we're heading towards catastrophe. This being so, it's not difficult to understand why the idea of a technological fix to solve our problems sounds very attractive to a lot of people. Truth is, scientists have begun to seriously study our geoengineering options. Some scientists may have been doing this for quite a long time, actually, I suspect. Perhaps many of the scientists who now take geoengineering ideas and research seriously wish they didn't have to, if you know what I mean. But they can see the writing on the wall, so to speak. Of course, there are groups, conservative groups, environmentalist groups, who view geoengineering as potentially very dangerous. And they are right, in my view. Of course they are. Large-scale human intervention in the Earth's climate system could have terrible consequences. Geoengineering is a controversial subject, and rightly so. It's a shocking subject for some people, but certain people in certain circles are talking about it openly, and there are plenty of people who actually support research for geoengineering. So is geoengineering an inevitability? Well, consider these things. From the point of view of a national government, or a wealthy corporation, or even a wealthy individual, geoengineering is cheap in financial terms. Manipulating the climate costs very little compared with the trillions of dollars needed to mitigate emissions on the global scale. And geoengineering can be done unilaterally. CO2 emissions can only be lowered multilaterally. One state or even one group is all you need to engineer the climate. Human beings now possess the power to do many things. Things that were once thought impossible. We now possess the power to cool the earth for years at a time. That's scary, but that's the reality. Fact is, geoengineering techniques could be used as weapons of mass destruction. The USA used geoengineering during the Vietnam War to flood certain areas. Many countries signed a convention in 1976 prohibiting military or any other hostile use of environmental modification techniques. So there is a possibility geoengineering techniques may be developed in the future for hostile purposes. We have to be aware of that. One really frightening scenario is one in which you have a number of powerful countries manipulating the climate at the same time in some sort of grim battle, some sort of grim war. Will deliberate climate degradation be the future of warfare? I wonder. The whole geoengineering debate or discussion, it raises moral and ethical questions as well as scientific ones. It's so fascinating and troubling also. Well, catch you next time, boys and girls. Peace.